Now, the blockbuster move from Elon Musk. Tesla's CEO, the world's richest man, set off a firestorm by revealing his bid to buy Twitter for over $43 billion. He's saying the social media platform needs to be transformed. Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis has the story. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, George. When Elon Musk is involved, you know the sparks will fly. The Tesla and SpaceX CEO telling an audience overnight at the TED conference that he sees his buyout of Twitter as, quote, extremely important to the future of civilization. This morning, the wealthiest person in the world, Elon Musk, threatening a hostile takeover of Twitter. Musk is already the social media giant's largest individual shareholder, but now he wants to own it outright, offering $54.20 a share, totaling about $43 billion.
Elon Musk.
Just hours after the offer went public, Musk appeared at the TED 2022 conference and described his motivation for the attempted acquisition.
Well, I think it's very important for there to be an inclusive arena for free speech. Twitter has become kind of the de facto town square.
Musk, worth an estimated $265 billion according to Forbes, announced the offer Thursday morning on Twitter, of course, where he has 82 million followers. His filing includes a letter to the chairman of Twitter's board saying he hopes to unlock the company's potential, but that Twitter needs to be transformed as a private company. Musk says he wants to open up Twitter's algorithm and again promised a long-debated edit button. But he was evasive when asked about what he'd do if his offer is rejected.
Is there a plan B?
There is.
And yet he wouldn't quite say what that plan B is. Musk is already facing pushback from some investors. Some employees at Twitter are concerned about what his involvement in the company might entail. And there's a class action lawsuit over the timing of his initial disclosure about his 9% stake in the company. Now it is up to Twitter's board to review his proposal, which is exactly what they say they will do, George.
Okay, let's bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, as well. Stay with us. Dan, you're a legal analyst. You're a media analyst. Is this a serious move by Elon Musk? What's he trying to do?
Look, anytime it's Elon Musk, you have to take it at least seriously. But the question is exactly what is he trying to do? A, is it real? Is it not? Okay. But let's assume for a moment that it is real. The question is, why is he doing it, right? If it's strictly as a business matter, okay, is he going to change the advertising model? That's a big question there, right? That's possible. But if he's really trying to fundamentally change sort of how Twitter does what it does, and that's his real purpose, remember, that too can have an impact on the business. He talks about free speech, meaning reducing some of the guardrails that Twitter has in place. But that could fundamentally change sort of not just who's on Twitter, how people use Twitter, but also, again, which advertisers want to be affiliated with Twitter. So all of these things are intersected. And we're just going to have to see exactly how serious he is about this.
It's hardly a guarantee that this happens. Let's bring Rebecca back in here. So Twitter's board can use what's called a poison pill to block this if they want to go that route. How does that work, and what exactly is that?
Well, and Dan really brings up an important point here, which is how Elon pays for all of this. Most of Elon's wealth right now is locked up in shares of his other companies, Tesla and SpaceX, in order to obtain funding for a $43 billion opportunity to buy this company. He's going to have to sell a lot of that stock or find it in another way, and it's unclear exactly where that stands. He's claimed, as he has previously, that he can get the financing. We saw this previously with him where he wasn't able to do it, and he didn't take his company private, as he said he might on Twitter previously.
And Dan, we also know there's a lawsuit on behalf of several shareholders. How big of a problem is that for him?
Not that big a problem. I mean, you're talking about comparative pennies from these shareholders compared to the amount at issue here. There's also possibilities of SEC investigation about certain rules, et cetera. I don't think any of that is going to be the fundamental make or break here. I think what Rebecca is talking about is going to be the issue that's going to determine, number one, how serious is he? Number two, if he is really serious, how does he get the cash to pay for it?
And number three would be, is the price high enough for Twitter? But Rebecca, let's assume for the moment that this actually does go through. What would the transformation that he may or may not have in mind mean for Twitter users, for Twitter employees?
That's still a very big open-ended question. He's talked about the edit button. That's something that a lot of people have talked about. Would we be able to edit a tweet once it's gone through? But that's small potatoes compared to some of the other major things he's talked about, bringing people back onto the platform, maybe people who have been kicked off of Twitter under a new world order of Elon Musk owning Twitter. Suddenly you see people back on that platform who have been banned.
All right, well, we know what you're going to be covering for the next few weeks.
I will be tweeting about it. Maybe I will.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.